Welcome, Guitaroholics. It's your old pal Wes, back with another episode to inform, educate, entertain, perhaps even titillate. Know what? No, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to do my damnedest to titillate my audience today as I'm talking about my new Vox. You saw this amp, if you follow the channel, when I did my triple unboxing. In that video, we got some really cool guitar grips, which I have since reviewed, and we got the Hard Luck Kings Outlaw LaGrange that you have now seen 2 reviews on, so really enjoying that guitar. You're about to see that guitar again, as I have a video planned where I am going to replace the nut, and there will be a lot of really juvenile jokes in that one. I can pretty much guarantee you. You can't have me say nut that many times without giggling like a 12-year-old. Definitely something to look forward to. But today, I want to talk about the Vox Mini Superbeatle audio. I will admit, I knew nothing about this amp. I got this with the stupid deal today. And okay, you see this over here? This is how the day has been so far. I was trying to set up this video and my flippin' tripod broke. So I've got it ever so precariously leaned up against the door frame. Hopefully I'll have enough light to you can see what's going on here. Yeah, but back to the Vox. It was just sort of one of those things like, wow, that's half price on Musician's Friend, stupid deal of the day. It looks cool, let me try it out. And I'm glad I did. So first, before, you'll notice, I always start these videos with a guitar in my hand. Today I just have a beer. That's because we're going to play a couple of different guitars to this amp, and I didn't want any spoilers. But this amp is, I guess, kissing cousins, almost identical twin with the Vox Mini Superbeatle. The difference is the audio, which is what this one is. That is designed to stream music through your phone or whatever Bluetooth capable device. And I'm not sure if the guitar amp Superbeatle has this or not, but there's a sub bass switch on here that is amazing. I was streaming some music while I was vacuuming up here one day, and I cranked up that sub bass, cranked up the volume. This is a little bitty amp. I mean, as you can see here, that's about as high as my knee. And I couldn't hear the vacuum. And we have about a 2,500 square foot house, 2 stories. And my wife was downstairs, and it was rattling the windows downstairs. So it's loud. I'm not going to demonstrate because I don't know if they would want me to pay to play somebody else's music or what. And I'm using my phone to record, and that's where all my music lives anyway. But it does great as a Bluetooth speaker. The Mini Superbeatle that's designed more for guitar work, that's going to be it looks almost identical, right? But it has a circuit that emulates the vintage Vox sound, and the name kind of gives it away, Superbeatle. This is really trying to sound like the original Beatles recordings, since they used a lot of Vox apparently. I may be the only person on here that's not a big Beatles fan. Never did it for me. Maybe if they did some chugging and some guttural growls, it'd be different, but from their current catalog, not a huge fan. This doesn't have that guitar circuit, and I'll play this straight through in just a couple minutes to let you hear what that sounds like. But the big difference is the Mini Superbeatle is pushing a 10-inch speaker. The Mini Superbeatle audio is pushing a 1-inch tweeter, and a 6-inch subwoofer, which makes this a full range amp. Let that sink in for a minute. Yes, it's designed to play your favorite music through it via Bluetooth, and you can plug in your guitar and play along, but those speakers will handle pretty much anything. If you want to run your bass through it, should be fine. I'm a fan of extended range guitars, and I don't think I've touched on those much on this channel. So I'm going to pull out the beast today. I know what you're thinking, get your mind out of the gutter, not that beast. I'm going to pull out a surprise guitar, and we're going to see just how this thing will hold up. And there is one feature on this amp that absolutely makes it worthwhile. So looking at this via price, okay, full price is about $400. At the end, we'll discuss if this would be a good purchase for either Bluetooth speaker, which you know you can buy Bluetooth speakers a lot cheaper than 400 bucks. If this would be a good purchase for guitar players. And at 200 bucks. And I kind of wish I'd done this a little bit earlier because I've already seen this come back on a Stupid Deal Today for $200. So if you like what you see, keep an eye out, they might do it again. And lastly, on this video, this is going to be just a clue at what the beast is going to be. I'm going to tell you the story of how I got this Koehl shirt. Oh! Alright, so before I plug in a guitar and turn it on, the very first thing you have to look at with a guitar amplifier, how's it going to hold my beer? And the answer is just barely enough room. It starts to hang over just a little bit. It's a teeny amp, but it'll do in a pinch. You're not gigging with it. Let's pull out a guitar and see what we can do. So I'm starting today off with the fan favorites. Out of all the videos that I've done, the Schecter Apocalypse has gotten more views than I think anything. The Fender Mod Shop was pretty close, and the Kirk Hammett Ouija guitar got a lot of love. But this thing, everybody loves their E1 Apocalypse. With good reason too. Great guitar. So what are we doing here? That doesn't sound great, Wes. That's kind of the point. This sounds very much like a beginner's amp to me. There's not a whole lot that you can really do. Let's see. It's not a great tone, I'll be honest. I wanted to use this guitar because I think the more people have heard how this guitar can really sound, what it really sounds like going through a really nice amp, meaning my PV6505. Now there is a gain switch in the back, and I did have a little bit of gain. I've rolled that all the way down. Okay, I'm kind of an idiot. All these very classic amp buttons on top are for controlling your Bluetooth music. You have 3 little bitty knobs in the back: gain, volume, and tone. Wait, is that volume? That's not volume. That is volume. Gain, tone, and volume. Okay, if you can see on the top, that's where you would expect everything, and there's a volume knob right here. Sub bass, bass, middle, treble, right? But on the very back, little bitty, got volume all the way pegged, of course, tone all the way down, and gain all the way down. Yeah, that's good. That's very guitar-centric. All right, so prettiest clean tone. Going to do both pickups on single coil mode. And let's diddle with our tone. Okay, that's probably about the halfway position. Okay, that's actually better. Let's clean it up a little bit more. That's a pretty dry signal though. Okay, the tone knob is all the way dimed now. You know, it's not terrible. And for a practice tool, that's not bad at all. That's doable. I mean, you know, you can do worse. Now that I've found there's a separate one tone control, I'd say, all right, that's probably right about, maybe a little bit better than your average beginner's practice amp. Now there's a gain control. Let's play with that a little bit. About halfway. That's pretty legit. Actually, let me see if I can just back off on the gain. That's probably about at a quarter. put on single coil mode. No, it's not quite enough. Maybe if I make it a little bit hotter. Passable. I was kind of hoping that I could clean up the tone, picking a little bit lighter. Back that off just a little bit more. Let me give that one more try. Not gonna cut it, no. So that's a drawback. If you want to go between clean tone and some dirt, you really gotta go behind the amp and crank something up. But this is gain all the way up. Let's see how this fares. Passable. It's actually not bad. Got some good harmonics off of it. Okay. That's not terrible. I'm going to say that's better than your average run-of-the-mill. I got this in a guitar pack kind of amp. But is it worth $400 if you're just a guitar player wanting to play some guitar? You can buy better amps for 400 bucks. But I really like it, and it's for one feature that just absolutely sells it for me. See, behind the head, if you move the head to the back here, I've got so much stuff plugged in I can't really flip it around for you to see, but there is a send and return that is not for an effects loop. Not really. It's called amp plug. Has an in that's a 1/4 inch jack. It does. Okay, I thought I was wrong. The in amp plug in is a 1/4 inch jack, and the amp plug out is an 1/8 inch. What is amp plug, you say? Amp plug is a micro amp that plugs directly into your guitar, made by Vox. The amp, not the guitar. The Vox does make some guitars that are pretty interesting, but it's a headphone amp that there's no external speakers. You plug it into your guitar, you put on your headphones, and you jam away quietly. That's a great tool for beginners. I hooked up my buddy Tim with one. He had to do all of his jamming late night, so to make sure that his wife and the girls got to actually sleep, he could take his electric and plug in his mini amp and some headphones. However, I didn't go with Vox. Honestly, I've never used a Vox amp plug. When I got this amp, I thought, you know what? They'll make or break it if it's not brand specific. Because I am a big fan of the Fender Mustang Micro. I love this thing. This is fantastic. That's why I got Tim. This thing is just super cool. So the Mustang, it's actually a very good modeling amp. And of course it's all Fender models. And the controls on it are super simple. It's like 12 different amps and about as many effects, and then you've got I think 5 EQ settings. So it's not like you can go in and say, oh, I'm gonna scoop the mids for this, or I'm gonna turn up the treble on this. It's already done for you. It's just 5 presets. And then you've got some different modifiers for your effects. The greatest thing about this amp is that the Mustang works with it. So, plugging in the Mustang through the back completely bypasses the brains of this amp. And now it is totally driven by that little Mustang. Now I've got reverb, now I've got a little echo, now I've got a much better sounding amp. And it'll do things. Hey! Oh, here we go. Boy, is that not a completely different beast. I mean, come on, y'all. That's just sexy, right? So obviously I'm a fan of the Fender Micro, and now if I want to show something off, I don't have to say, here, put on my headphones. It'll be perfectly reproduced by this little Vox setup. Loving it. But of course, you have to take everything to an extreme, or what's the point, right? Okay. I promised you the beast. Excuse me while I whip this out. answering the age-old question, how many strings are too many strings? Weighing in at a gajillion pounds, here we have the one-of-a-kind, beautiful beast. Yeah, 9 strings. Koehl bridge, ebony fretboard. When I contacted Kirk Zinnemeyer of Rondo Music, Agile Guitars, he had to go see if they even had a piece of ebony that was wide enough to make this guitar. So this was the first thing that I ever had custom built, and really it's very much like the Mod Shop Fender. Here's a list of features, pick and choose what you want, and ebony just wasn't an option, but Kirk hooked me up and got me exactly what I wanted. And this motherfucker has been intimidating me ever since. It's huge. So first off, let's be reasonable, right? Yeah. So the standard Gibson scale is 24 3/4. The standard Fender scale is 25 1/2 inches. This is more like a short scale bass coming in at 30 inches. And because of course nothing can be easy, instead of tuning it standard across the board like one would expect, tune the 8 string down to E. A lot of folks do that. And I tune the 9 string down 2 whole steps to B, as in the B from a 5 string bass. Okay, what was this guitar made to do? That was a brown noise. Every one of you just shit yourselves. You're welcome. All right. I'm tired. Ow. Yeah, so I told you that I was going to tell you the story of where this shirt came from. All right. I can't remember the year. I want to say 20, sometime in the early 2000s. Let's say after 06, before 2012. I'll have to go back and look. Probably should have done that before I started talking about it. I ordered this guitar, had it built, and when it arrived, absolutely gorgeous. Right? I mean, let me see if you can see the light of what little lights come back through there. Okay, quilted maple top, transparent red finish. The back battery thing just broke, so my the battery for my active pickups is hanging out. But first thing I'm gonna do, after tuning it up at least, see what it's like to start diving on a whammy bar on that 8th and 9th string. Well, the damn bar wouldn't screw in. The cam that the strings are rolling on had not been tapped. So I sent an email to Kurt Zenmeyer of Rondo Music and told him what happened, and I got an email back and said, "Oh, I'll have Gary call you." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I guess he's got like a tech guy there. You know, there must be a Gary that works for him." And it wasn't 24 hours later, maybe significantly less. The memory's obviously not serving me very well right now. I got a call from Gary. Koehl, as in the guy that invented the bridge. And he starts telling me how to fix it. I'm like, whoa, dude, I don't have like tap and die type equipment. It's like, oh, just bring it into your local guitar shop, give me a call, and I'll walk him through it. Like, oh, son of a bitch, okay. And I got up to Guitar Center, and I called the number like early, thinking, all right, I'm gonna have to go through secretaries and whatever else. And they're gonna be like, you want to talk to Gary? Almost immediately, the phone answers, and it's Gary Koehl himself. Like, oh shit. Well, I'm here. He's like, oh yeah, let me talk to your guitar tech. And go up to the guy at Guitar Center, and hey, look, I have Gary fucking Koehl on the phone. Just looks at me with this blank stare. I'm like, Koehl Bridges, are you? Bro, you're a guitar tech. You gotta know who Gary Koehl is. At the end of the day, he didn't have the proper equipment either. So Gary's like, you know what? It's fine. I want you to just give me your address, and I'll send you a new bridge, and you can send the old one back. I'm like, all right, cool. And he threw in this shirt and a wristband. And so whenever I put on this shirt, I just have to smile and think about how fucking cool Gary Koehl truly is. Like, the man's a genius, and he made one of my favorite guitars possible with this absolutely fantastic design. He made all of those Alice in Chains solos, particularly in the early days, possible because of Jerry Cantrell's Koehl-equipped G&L guitars. It's absolutely phenomenal. I love that memory, and I love what a down-to-earth, super cool guy is, and I love that he made it possible for me to do shit like this. Yeah. And as a testament to how cool Koehl's are, still in tune. that's the thing with this guitar though. I feel like such a novice every time I pick this up. Man, looking at just 9 strings, and like, I'm just going to play power chords because I know that'll sound cool. Yeah. when this is primarily what I play for a couple weeks, I walk away with like cool finger tapping shit. Maybe some cool incorporated bass lines that you can play all together and sounds really neat. But when I've been rocking on 6 strings for like months straight and I pull this out, I'm lost. Just newborn babe in the woods. So, long story short, that's a cool little amp. Now, for full price, is it worth $400 if your intended purpose is to play instruments through it as is? Probably not. Go to your favorite music store website, look for amps under $400. You will find modeling amps, plenty of solid state amps, amps that are more portable than even this little guy, all kinds of stuff that are probably almost certainly gonna sound better. If you already have an M-Plug or a Mustang Micro or something of that nature that you can run through the back, then yeah. But if you don't and you're planning on buying one, add another $100. So this setup, as I have it now, with the amp and the Mustang Micro, is a $500 rig. For $500, you can get I think the biggest Mustang amp that Fender makes that has the same modeling effects, pushing a 12-inch speaker, if I'm not wrong. I didn't look it up, but I think it's about right. But you can definitely have a better rig. Now, if you see one on Musician's Friend for half price, heck yeah. Is that a $200 amp? Oh, that's a great value for $200. The fact that you can run your music through it, honestly, you can walk away from it. If you forget to turn it off, it'll turn itself off in an hour. So it's going to be easy on the juice. The sound quality for playing just pre-recorded music, it's great. The thing sounds just amazing. Honestly, I've got a number of Bluetooth speakers and nothing really compares with the kick and bass of this thing, or the volume. It is quite loud. So for my purposes, this setup is fantastic. Particularly, you can see I'm sitting in the upstairs living room now. Yeah, this is, I've got this out here so if my wife or I want to turn on some music, connect to like the SiriusXM app or Pandora or some little Spotify, yeah, we got music to work by and we can both enjoy it. And with the fact that I can pull something out and crank up or just work on ideas here without going and getting the big amp cranked up. Well, Guitaroholics, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video and my review of the Vox Mini Superbeatle audio. And I hope you enjoyed a little bit of guitar playing and some Schecter love and a Gary Koehl story that was probably longer than it really needed to be. I just want you to know that prior to recording, this shit happened. Just snapped. So had the jankiest setup for today's video. If it didn't turn out nearly so pretty as usual, that is why. I had that just leaned up against a wall in order to get a little bit of light on me. And with the tripod broken, what I use to prop up my phone, that would be the 9-string case. Stood up on end, just hanging. So, These are the things that I do for you guys. Until next time, Guitaroholics, rock on!